depending on where you are. Today I wanted to talk about something that's really important because I want to talk about how to break free from a domestic violence relationship. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Like, as far as E. Kane goes, I have E. Kane blocked because all I have rooted for her like a few years back, hoping that she would, get away from Chris and stuff like that. And I'm be honest with y'all, when I would see her repeatedly take Chris back, it would really like blow my mind. And I would just be like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's disgusting looking. He looked dirty. He just looks trifling. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why don't you have the strength to leave this man? You know what I mean? And, I was rooting for her so much that I would show my husband her videos like, hey, and then I would have him looking at some of her videos and he'd be like, man, that lady's not going to leave and da-da-da-da. And we would have this talk about it, go back and forth about it. And I was still, just hope that she would leave. And then I got to a point to where I think I remember at the point to where I was like, I'm going to have to block her was during, I want to say, the school incident when I really thought that she was going to leave him alone and she didn't. But you have a lot of T pages and like clip farming pages that record her lives and record the things that she says, and then they'll repost them. So unfortunately, sometimes I see things that she has going on, even though I have her blocked. Now, y'all may ask, like, well, why are you talking about her right now? Well, I just saw some clips of her writing out all of the things that Chris has done to her since they started their relationship on a whiteboard, like, in a white dry erase boards. And as I'm listening to her state all of these horrible things that he has done to her, it really made me feel so bad for her for multiple reasons. Bad because I don't want to see any black woman, young black woman, mind you, or older black woman going through that type of disrespect and pain. That was number one. And then number two, I have been in the same situation that she has been in with my first husband. And, there was a time where I felt like, that was all I deserved, or I couldn't get away, or accepting the person back from putting their hands on you and stuff like that. And today I genuinely wanted to talk to any women that may come across this live that are in a domestic situation, and being as though I'm a survivor myself, to tell you how you can break free and you can get away. Somebody says, friend, I love you, but she's coming for you. She's not coming for nothing over here. I don't even understand why you would say that. First of all, there's nothing that I'm saying that's wrong. And number two, what could she come with me for? I'm not doing anything. And I'm just going to disregard that comment because that was just stupid. That was a stupid comment. Okay, so let me say, any woman that's in a domestic situation, I really want to talk to y'all, and I don't mind sharing my experiences on how I was able to break free. And I just want to say that she can come and she can do what she will. I've talked about her before. I have maybe like 2 or 3 videos on this lady. Yeah, let me say that I've had my experiences, and I would like to talk about, share my experiences, some of my trauma, and some of how I was able to break free, and hopefully talk to other women that may or may not be going through this, and we can talk about how you can manage to get away. And I would say, even though women don't want to admit this, if you're in a domestic situation and you're allowing a man to mistreat you, you have low self-esteem, and you are putting that man in a position of loving him more than you love yourself. And you shouldn't love anyone more than you love yourself. There shouldn't be a human being that exists that you love more than you love yourself. And it's really just that simple. And I was listening to her. She was documenting how, he had spit on her, how he had choked her while she was in labor and had, kicked her in the stomach while she was pregnant with the most recent child. And, all of these things going back and that he had essayed her and beat the brakes off of her and all of these things. And, I think, to be honest with you, it is not only is it you loving a man more than you love yourself, I think it's a form of pickmeism, dare I say, male-centeredness, and thinking that you would rather have this man around than than you would rather have the man around rather than your self-respecting your dignity. She mentioned when that he had spit on her multiple times. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. That has happened to me. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I think sometimes people don't realize the signs of an abusive man before they even gets to the point to where they lay hands. And I'll give you, because first I want to talk about how to avoid it in the beginning. And if somehow you miss the signs, then we're going to go delve into how to break away. Now, when I was dating my first husband, okay, I, had a job, I had just graduated college and, I had got a new car, a brand new car off the lot. And it was, I will tell y'all what car, it was a Toyota Corolla. And my favorite color is black. So it was a black Toyota Corolla. And I remember when I went to the Toyota, lot and everything, how many husbands I've been through. Please stop it, dirty, Dick Ryder of Kobe Bryant. I've had 2 husbands. My second husband I've been married to for 16 years. So get off my dick. Okay? I'm gonna block you though, natty kid. Goodbye. Okay, so let me say this. I'm sorry, because this is a sensitive topic. So anybody that come up here and say anything ridiculous, I might get out of pocket and say something that's crazy, but I just blocked that person. Anyway, so I got this Toyota Corolla, right? And I will never forget. They put it in the showroom for me to come pick it up. And they played like this, like Star Wars music and made all this, dramatic thing for me to get this. This is my first car, but it's my first brand new car off the lot. Now, not shortly after that, I ended up meeting my now ex-husband. And, we went on this date. Well, no, I would say, no, I think I had already met him when I got the car. Yes. I had already met him when I got the car. When I got the car, he had this look on his face, you know what I'm saying, that looked like it was possible jealousy. But I was like, maybe it's not. Wait a minute. I think Miss Good News said in the comments, did I get therapy? I did go to therapy, but I didn't feel like therapy was helpful for me specifically. And it could be the lady that I chose. I don't know, but it wasn't helpful for me. I had to work through that Cash App was already there, Rainbow Grits. It's always there. I haven't changed it. And maybe what if I was in a domestic let me get you out of here, Rainbow Grits. Why don't you go brush your teeth? And why are you following me? Okay? Get your goofy out of my life. All right? That's what you can do. Get out. It's always in there. But just in case somebody thinks I'm trying to be funny about this, let me delete that. I don't even know how to delete that. Let me see about me. Let me see if about me is in there. Okay. I see it right here. There. I took it out. All right. I took it out of my bio, but I'm about to block that person though, the rainbow person. They about to get blocked right now. Hold on, let me go back up there so that I can block Rainbow Grits. I don't know why you followed me either. I'm about to block them. All right. Shoot. I don't know why you follow me, but it's done now. Okay, so I blocked Rainbow Grits. Okay. It's okay. I took it out already, Anthea. I took it out because I don't even know why that person would have said that. Okay, so anyway, so let me go back. Yeah, so I did know him before I got the new car. But let me say, so I got the new car, and the first thing that he did was kick it. And it wasn't even, I think it was that I wouldn't let him drive it. And we weren't even married at this point. He got out of the car and kicked it. Kicked a big dent in it. Okay? And, I was just flabbergasted at why he did that. And I think the second thing he did was kick the side mirrors off. He kicked one of the side mirrors off to where it was hanging, like he kicked the heck out of it. Brand new car. And so when, this is my ex-husband. So when y'all are talking about, when she was talking about like how, what's his name? Chris had kicked off like the mirrors of her car and damaged her phones. That is something that an abusive man is going to do because a lot of black men are not able to do what they need to do as men. They're not educated. They can't get good jobs. They don't have any money. They see these black women going to school, getting education. They're able to get these cars. They're able to get these apartments, and they get jealous. And so in order to feel like they have some type of power as a man, they start destroying these women's belongings. That's one of the first things that you can to recognize an abuser is he will try to destroy the things that you have. That's the first thing to do. So if you're dating a man and he has made any type of move that he is going to break up or destroy something that you have, you need to get away immediately. So anyway, like I said, that was one of the first signs before the domestic violence started that my ex-husband kicked my brand new car. I got off the lot, kicked the dent in the door. He also, it said this was, I was stupid. Okay. I let this man drive my car. He brought my car back and it had like a, do people still, I'm so old, y'all. Do people still call it cherries? He brought back the car and it had cherries in it. He had let people smoke in my car. So like, them little like, circles that come in your car from ash. Like there was a lot of cherries in my seat. That was the second thing. That was like the third thing. Okay. So anyway, through all of that, I'm skipping a lot of parts of this, but this is off the top of my head. I'm just trying to help a woman that's listening to maybe, protect herself. This isn't to talk about bash E. Kane. This isn't to make fun of her pain. None of that. I actually feel very bad for E. Kane. But I'm going to be honest and be real because this could help someone else that may be ready to leave. All right. She mentioned, that he had spit on her multiple times. I will tell you, I remember, when one time, this is at a point to where, and if you're with a man that's abusive and he's jealous of you, he will do everything that he can do to get you to be lower than he views himself. So like if you got a job, he's going to try to make sure that you lose it. If you in school, he going to try to make sure that you get bad grades or you drop out so that you can be a rock bottom essentially. So I remember that my new car, eventually, after I got married to him, he ended up wrecking my car, getting it towed. And so I didn't have a car. We didn't have a car anymore. I remember this one time we were on the bus stop. Okay. And he was down talking to me as usual, calling me all type of B words and this, that, and the third. And there was a guy that was walking down the street past the bus stop. And he was like, are you looking at him? You looking at him? And I definitely wasn't looking at him. Okay. At all. He turns around and says, oh, so you think he was mad about that? This man went and was like, I'm talking about when I say spit, I mean, I'm talking about this man hawked the biggest loogie that you could think of right in my face. In front of this man, this black man that was walking down the street that I didn't know. And the black man saw all of it, you know what I'm saying? And he just kept walking. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not expecting any man to protect me. Especially, yeah, I might go down there. But and I remember at that time being like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is too much for me. I cannot be with this person anymore. And so I had like this purse that had some of my like personal information, like my IDs and stuff in there. And so I got up and started walking away from him at the bus stop because I was like, okay, this is it. Like, let me get up and start walking. He's trying to grab me and get me to still sit at the bus stop with him to get on the bus after this man just spit in my face. And I'm like, yeah, no. So I start walking. This man turned around because we were outside his sister's house and his sisters never ever intervened on anything. They always tried to make it like it was my fault, even though unbeknownst to me, he had a history of beating women that I didn't know. So I start running and I end up getting on the bus on the opposite side of the street. And the bus is supposed to take us to the rapid station. And so will take me to the rapid station. Unbeknownst to me, this man had ran in the house to get something. I make it to the rapid station. I'm waiting for the rapid. If y'all don't know, this is where I lived at the time. That's what they called it, the rapid train, whatever. This man comes into the train station with a big butcher knife. It says, I should just unalive you right here. I should fucking unalive you in front of all these people, you stupid, all of this other stuff. And everybody in the train station is looking like, oh my gosh, this man, because my ex-husband was about 6'4", and I look this big black man, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What the heck is going on here? And he's got this big butcher knife threatening to unalive me. And I was just looking at him because at that point he had already done so much that it was just like, okay, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it because I'm not going nowhere and I'm not coming with you. So he was like, yeah, I should, you know, everybody was looking. I think he got scared of getting locked up and going to jail at that particular time. So he ended up, you know what I'm saying, you know, putting a knife all in my face and stuff like that in front of everybody. Then he ended up leaving in that particular instance. And I think that what people don't understand is when you are in a domestic violence type of situation, there is a time where you may go back and because that a lot of men that are abusers will cry and will emotionally manipulate you. And so you will feel like, oh, it's your fault, or, oh, they just need your help, or whatever. And so you will end up going back. Now, me personally, I'm not trying to judge here, but I do feel like for EK, the amount of time that she's been in a situation, I feel like is too long. With the resources that she has and also the fact that she has children that are able to see what's going on, at some point you have to be like, hey, I've got to unpack this lust, because it's a lust. This lust for this man that is abusive to me because it's ruining my children. You know what I'm saying? So at some point you've got to stop. But somebody asked, did I leave? Absolutely, I left. I was only married to him for 2 years. So it took me 2 years to be able to do it. But in order for me to do it, I do feel like any woman that is in an abusive relationship, I feel like for you to completely be able to leave, you should leave the state. You should leave the state. Somebody said there's no safe way to leave. There's also no safe way to stay. So pick your poison. Okay? There's no safe way to stay either. So either you leave and you take the chance on living the way you need to live, or you stay and you end up unaliving. It's just that simple. So I'm not here for that. But like I said before, I did have to leave the state. I did make several errors in leaving. So I can tell y'all all of these things. For any questions that anybody has, y'all can ask me. Because a lot of stuff that I experienced were absolutely horrible. So in those 2 years, I was put through utter and ultimate hell and torture. So, anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to be here for it. What are you talking about? Um, uh, it's good news. You said, were you far from family? I don't have a good relationship with any of my family. I don't talk to my mother. I don't talk to my father. I don't have any brothers and sisters. I don't talk to anybody in my family. So I never had like really good support. And I was raised with my parents who were married. So yeah. So, but anyway, like I said, I really want to lay out the lines for this. Who's this person that asked? Chori, just a second. I got to go to Anthea. She was here first. Go ahead, Anthea. I set you guys as timers for 2 minutes. Go ahead, sis. Hey.
Hey, Triggs. That story, yeah, when you started talking about it, hurt my heart again. Because you have spoke about that. This Kane lady, she's a weirdo. I don't understand why she's doing this, or also it could be for monetary basis, I guess. Like maybe she's making money off of people seeing it get used and whatnot.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that.
Okay.
I think that, some of the things that she does is for shock value, but when she's talking about domestic violence and what she's experienced, I don't think that she's doing it for money. I think that what's happening is that people love to see drama and they like to be in other people's business. So a side effect of what she's going through, she's able to get monetized and get things from it. But I don't think the violence and the trauma that Chris is putting her through, I don't think that's for. I don't think that's what that's for. I think she's really
Okay,
undergoing it.
that's fair. I've never myself actually experienced that sort of thing. However, I've been friends with two people who were in those sort of situations, and just as a friend, like it's difficult to handle because like I'm experiencing it as well. Yeah, maybe not physically, but mentally, I'm scared, I'm worried, I'm stressed out about you. Like, but you keep putting yourself in that position. So I don't know. For the ladies, like whoever is going through that, please, like, do talk to someone and you like, I don't, yeah. I'm not someone who'll be able to help somebody with that. But I also know, like, there are places where you can go and there are people who can actually help you. And genuinely, you really don't have to be in that situation. Because even as a friend, it was difficult, like to the point where I had to cut off cut off two friends, because I just couldn't handle it anymore. Like I'm always the one, like everything, like I'm just seeing it happening to you, and it's hurting my heart. Like, no.
Okay, all right. Okay, I got you,
Yeah.
Anthea. Because today I want to kind of focus more on how to help people. All right, so let me go up here. Corey, go ahead, Corey.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I just wanted to say that these type of situations also create the perfect victim. And when I say that, I mean that those children, when they see those things, they will become the perfect victim. When you grow up seeing this type of stuff in your house, whether it be verbal AB, physical AB, you start to think that that's okay, especially once it starts getting inflicted on you as a child and you have to see all of that. And then it's like, well, mommy and daddy, they love each other and they love me and they still do it. So that means that anybody that loves me can do that. You're setting your children up for like a tolerance for those type of things. And I understand that it's hard to leave because I grew up in this type of situation. I grew up like literally the things that Kane posts, it triggers me because I grew up in that. And when those kids get out of that house, they're gonna have to unlearn a whole lot. And I know a lot of people like to push, oh, two-parent households, but if it's going to be healthier to co-parent and not be together, then that's what you need to do. Children shouldn't be subjected to stuff like that, because like literally I can still vividly remember
Okay, I got y'all.
arguments and stuff.
Yeah, today I kind of want to focus on not none of that, respectfully, but how women can get away. and how they can break free, and also recognizing the signs. Because I don't want people to think that you know what I'm saying? That
Definitely
yeah.
community. I will say that that's a big thing. Having people around you is a huge thing when it comes to leaving these types of situations, because what'll happen is you'll be isolated with the person that is being you, and basically you'll like what you just said, you'll start thinking like you're wrong, that it's your fault, and you're internalizing all of these things. So definitely a support system.
Okay, all right, I got you. If I would really like women that have had experiences with DV and how y'all got out and your experiences, that way we can all give practical examples of it, because I don't want anybody to think that I can't speak for anybody else on the panel, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm victim blaming, because I that's not my intent. For real. I really was heartbroken when I saw the video clips of EK on the whiteboard writing out everything that she's experienced. And I want, even if EK is not ready, I want any woman that may possibly come across this live that could be ready to get some practical tips on actually how to break free. That's the reason why I'm ready to put out some of my business out here in the streets of when I was married to my first husband who was abusive, and the steps that I took and what I experienced and how I was able to leave. So if anybody is able to come up on that type of time, please come up and talk about it. All right, let me
Hi.
go next to Mackenzie. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
Hi, good afternoon. So I've personally been in one domestic violence relationship. It was very short-lived because I kind of it wasn't like we were very locked in, we didn't live together or anything like that. But I grew up with a lot of women just like E. Kane, like living in the hood. Like you see a lot of women like that. I had stepsisters who were in similar situations. And I just remember being a child and like going to help my sister move her stuff out. And then she would take her stuff, maybe a month would pass and she would just eventually go back. So like the last girl said, it's about community. I think that's so huge. And also like one thing, my mother never gave up on her. Like she would, like even when she would go back, she would just be patient and she would always be there for her, which is very gracious of her. Like a lot of people just give up on their peoples. But definitely community. I would say for me personally, like I just kind of spotted the signs and I started to become a little bit dependent on that person and I kind of snapped into it really quick. It was during COVID. And I had lost my job, so I was like financially dependent on this person at a point in time. And we had gotten into an argument and he started being like physical with me and like I didn't like the first time we were like under the influence, so I didn't really address the severity of the situation. I feel like sometimes that be the case too. Like a lot of people, they cope with like drugs and alcohol, or maybe they grew up seeing these things, so they downplay the situation, which ultimately like you have to nip these things in the bud because it's only going to get worse. Like, especially when you live with a person or when you procreate with a person. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, all right, I got you, Mackenzie. I appreciate you, sis. Um Everybody in the comments talking about EK and she's not ready to go. That's fine. All I mean, that's not fine. But what I'm saying is that I hope that if there are any other women that may possibly come across this live, that they listen. You can do it. You should do it. And there'll be women that will tell you, like there was women in the comments saying like, hey, well, you could be unalived if you leave. It may not be safe. It may not be safe. It's not safe to stay. You for sure know the outcome if you stay. So, but I do believe in going no contact, disappearing, doing certain things, being prepared to meet their their DV with deadly, well, what can I use? Unaliving force, protecting yourself, making sure that you don't give up your power to where it's like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I can't protect myself. You can and you should. Knowing that, but beyond that, I feel like knowing the signs first, realizing we can talk about the signs of an abusive man. Like I said, a man that destroys your belongings, that's the first thing that should get you to know that more than likely he's going to be a abuser. A man that calls you the B word. I know a lot of women, especially younger women, are cool with men calling them a B word. Oh, this is my B, be this, be that. If a man calls you the B word, he can put you in the dirt. He can put you in the ground. The mindset of a man that uses the B word to address women is the mindset of a debased individual. He wasn't raised correctly. And I don't care what nobody say. I have not yet met any man, young or old, that calls women the B word as a descriptor or will use the B word to a woman that has been raised correctly, that won't knock your teeth in, that won't punch you in your face if you overstep or he feels like you've overstepped. But let me let Kimberly speak, and then I'm gonna give y'all some more signs so that maybe you won't even get into the situation first. And then we can talk about how to get out if you're already there. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Hey.
So I actually left an abusive relationship last year in March of 2025. He was very wealthy. I met him when I was working at a gym as just a sales counselor. I didn't really do too much there. And I know there are a lot of women that listen to like all that advice of go out and get you a wealthy older man. So I'm not saying not to do that, but I just want you guys to know like what to be aware of and what to pay attention to so that you don't end up in a situation like how I ended up in. I was 24 years old at the time when I met him. I stayed with him for 2 to 3 years. And I couldn't get away from him because he was involved in like a lot of criminal activities that I didn't know about initially. So like when I met him, some of the first signs that I didn't pay attention to at first was he was always very observant. He had been watching me before I even got with him because a lot of abusers, they will scope out the woman that they're going to get with to see, okay, how many friends does she has? Who is she around? Who is she paying attention to? All these things. Like, so I had to pay attention to, okay, this man is actually, like, he doesn't like when anybody walks up to my desk and talks to me, even if it's a member. By the time I didn't know that. And it got really hard because after a while, he looked like I had trusted him so much. And he started providing for me financially to the point where I was like, listen, I don't want to quit my jobs. But he was like, listen, I'm going to take you on all these vacations. I'm going to take you to all these nice places. And he did. So I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and leave since you are taking care of me. You are paying my bills. You are doing all this for me. I will leave. The moment I left, that's when he had full control. That's when he wouldn't let me work anymore. If I didn't do what he told me to do, he was not going to pay that car bill. He was not going to pay them bills. He was not going to do anything. So it put me in a place where, okay, let me be quiet and let me comply so I can make sure I'm taken care of because I really can't get anywhere else. So I just really want y'all to know, just be careful. And I got out of it. I know people aren't religious anymore, but I got out of it through prayer, 100% through prayer. And then I had to be so sneaky. And I don't like to lie, but there were times where I had to lie and I had to say, listen, I'm going to go and do this today or like go take a walk and all these other things because he wouldn't let me be by myself a lot of the times. So I ended up going and getting like a little part-time job working at Mac. And I said, I just want something just so I can be around some makeup because I love makeup. I said, I just want to be around this all day. Started working at Mac, got a part-time job. That gave me confidence to get away from him. So just make sure you go have your own money so you can get away. Like that's the reason a lot of women stay stuck because they don't have their own and they're financially depending on a man.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Okay, all right. I got what you're saying as well, Kimberly. And I'm so glad that you were able to get out. To this man that keeps sending me requests, this Indian man in the request box, like what I just already rejected your request. What would make you think that I would want to hear anything that you have to say about this? Are you dumb? If you send me another request, sir, I'm going to blow up your picture and I'm going to drag you. Don't send me another request. All right. He withdrew his request because what the fuck is your problem? Okay. Anyway, let me just say, I said like we were going to first talk about red flags. So I already talked about a man that destroys your belongings. And Kimberly already gave y'all some too. I already said a man that calls you the B word, because it was already some goofy women in here talk about what if the woman calls the man the B word first. So the same thing applies. What are you talking about? Why would you even ask me? And then it's like you come in here and ask me stupid questions like that when we're talking about something serious, and that's also a problem. The reason why there are also a lot of black women, because I only care about black women, a lot of black women and black girls that get abused is also, nobody talks about this. There is always some buckyhead black woman that's a sister, a cousin, a aunt, a mom, a granny that's behind enabling that black man, that makes him feel comfortable that he can do it because he knows he has the support of the women in his family. So you're probably one of those type of women, and y'all discuss me. Okay. But let me just say also, a man that seems to be very controlling, very domineering, that's a man that you want to avoid, that's probably going to put hands on you. Also, a man that has been to jail, a man that's been to prison. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care what he tell you. I don't care if he tell you, oh, it wasn't my fault. It was the white man. It was this and that. If he's been to jail, if he's been to prison at all, that is a man you want to stay away from, because that is a man that will also put his hands on you. The stats for DV and men that have been to jail or prison are so high. Why would you take the risk? And I don't want to hear anybody talking about oh, well, it's not all of them. If you know that it's a high instance and a high chance of you getting hands and feet put on you by a man that's been to jail or prison, why as a black woman would you even take the chance and take the risk? Let's see, a man that I also, this is probably also going to be like controversial, but I don't care. If you notice, broke men, men that don't have anything. So a man that you go and you talk to and he say he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have a place to stay, or he's staying with his mama, or he's not making that much money, or he's not successful, but you are. That's also a recipe for a man to put his hands and feet on you. That was one of the main mistakes that E. Kane, I understand that she was young, made, entertaining a man that was busted and disgusted and broke. A brokie's always going to put his hands on you because he's mad at his state in life. And if you are the type of black woman that's a go-getter, and you're going to school, you got a job, you got a car, you got a vehicle, you're doing things, he's going to be jealous of you. He's going to envy you. He's going to feel like, oh my goodness, look at this heifer. She's in a better position than me. Oh my goodness, what can I do to break her down so that she can feel just as bad about herself as I feel about my own self? So you're not going to be able to heal these men. Also, a man that has, and once again, this is also going to be controversial, a man that has been in foster care, has a bad relationship with his mom. Like he's had a troubled past. He's been in and out of, homes, and his mother has been on illegal substances, left him, abandoned him, or he has severe, deep mommy issues. All of those things he's going to take out onto you. Let's see here. Cam says she's not leaving. We don't care. This isn't for her, Goofy. It's for other women that's listening. And I want y'all to know, I really try my best to show love to black women. But the very next black woman, Cam, I'ma spare you. The very next black woman that comes up here and says something like that, I'ma drag you. I'ma drag you. I really am, because this isn't the time to be doing that. It's black women out here being unalived every day, every hour on the hour. And the fact that you can come up to talking about nobody cares about her, nobody cares about you. With your doggone 50 million filters you got on your face. Why don't you worry about, man, boy, let me stop, because I was really about to go in on you. Get your goofy. I don't care if you just joined or not. If you just joined and you don't know what's going on, then shut your freaking mouth. Shut up. Okay? Well, I tell you what, that obesity in your neck and your chin and your shoulders is not a filter. You should have filtered that out. Get your butt up out of here. And while you over here being nasty in my life, go for a run. Go for a run. Okay? That's what you can do. And that's what I mean. I really don't even want to do that. But this is serious. I don't need you miserable effers in here talking like this. Like, disgusting. Let me just, girl, if you know what's good for you, you'll get out of my life. You really will. You'll get out. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Because she just pissed me off. It's so many black women that don't have any type of, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have any type of empathy for other women. And it's just crazy. Like, I just don't understand it. I really don't understand it. Like, it's just disgusting. If you guys can keep liking alive, let's see here. Princess says E. Kane is just as abusive as Chris. You're a pick me. And this isn't about E. Kane, but a woman can never be as abusive as a man because the man is stronger. So if you ain't seen Chris out here with black eyes, then what are you talking about? Shut your mouth. But beyond that, I'm not even going. Those type of women that make comments like that, those are pick me's. And the fact that you would be a pick me for Chris is like, yuck. What? Yuck. Yeah. Let me block you, princess. For real. You're not a princess. You're actually a pauper. But let me block you. Get out of here, dick rider. Okay. Anyway, let me just keep going. Cause I'm really not going to. What was that other lady that was here that had her titty on her chest that said that she didn't have the filter on? I think her name was Kamaya. They came here, Cam. She had, taking a picture laying down in her bed with her titty on her chest, flopped up. Like, girl, bye. Your DK women should be the last. She says she doesn't have empathy. I don't have empathy. Let me block her. I'm not even about to say nothing else. Goodbye. She's gone. I just blocked her. I blocked Cam and I also blocked Princess. They're both gone. Okay, so let me just keep going. Maybe I shouldn't have used E. Kane's picture, but E. Kane was the reason why I made the live. So I felt like it would be wrong. You know, let's see here. Ororo says there is a whole documentary on men being abused. It goes both ways. Are you dumb? Do you know that the majority of all violent acts are committed by men? The majority of all unalivings are committed by men. The majority of all DV, intimate partner unalivings are done by men. So the fact that you would come up here and try to center men is disgusting. And even if that were the case, which is not, we're not talking about men right now. We're talking about women, dummy. So why wouldn't you want to talk about women? First, are you okay? Where is she at? Let me block her too. Yeah, get out of here. Because y'all gonna make me be mean. And I don't want to be. So let me block you. Goodbye. Geez Louise. Let's see here. Mawai, this is a black woman right here that says Single Woman United Live. Please get in here. Are you single? I'm not. Are you single? That I'm talking about abuse and you're saying Single Woman Live. Hold on. This is the type of woman that wants to talk about somebody being single. You have a tattoo on your titty. I'm sure that you're single. Okay? You have a tattoo and a synthetic wig on. That costs $40 and a titty tat. I'm not going to talk to any woman about anything that has a titty tat. Do better, okay? Do better. Because you could easily be talked about. Because you already make bad decisions, which is why you got a titty tat. Get out of here. Okay? Get out. Get out of here. Anywho, let me just keep going because this is ridiculous. Like, the fact that I'm trying to talk about domestic violence and y'all are in this live cutting up, I just don't even know what to say. I really don't. It's so sad that y'all are doing this. It's making me not even want to talk about it. She meant it in a bad way. Now you see, LaFay. The dudes say that all the time. The red pill black men come in and say that all the time. Now you see. Just so that you know. They do it all the time. Yeah, no, single is not an insult. But you know, some people like to say that, and I don't know why. But I'm gonna block her though. All right, let me see what this person has to say. This is actually, I'm just starting to get so frustrated about it because I genuinely came in here with pure intentions to help women. get away from abusive situations, and this just isn't turning out the way that I wanted. Yeah. Go ahead, Zendaya. Go ahead.
I definitely agree with your statement. Black women should run away from domestic violence in relationships. It's very bad for them, and it breaks down their mental health.
Okay. All right. I got you. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. Have a good day.
You too. I appreciate you. Anyway, you guys, I just want to say, if you are a Black woman and you are undergoing, I'm just going to say this, y'all, and I think I'm probably going to wrap it up. If you are a Black woman or you're a Black girl and you're experiencing DV in your life, I just want you to know that you are not deserving of that. You are deserving of a peaceful life and a peaceful existence. No one that will harm you loves you and cares for you. Nobody that loves and cares for you will call you out of your name. No one that loves and cares for you will destroy your belongings. No one who loves and cares for you will humiliate you. No one who loves and cares for you will spit on you. No one who loves and cares for you will essay you and open you up to all type of, trauma and things of that nature. And if you are thinking about leaving and you're afraid, I can understand why you would be afraid. But think about what will happen if you stay. Now, there may be a risk of retaliation, or you have to, do whatever if you leave. But there's absolutely 100% of the time something going to happen if you stay. And that's the only thing that I'm trying to say. So any Black woman, you know what I'm saying, that's undergoing this, please, please, please escape and get away. And this, once again, this is not about E. Kane, even though her video not her video, but the clips that I saw of her writing everything that she's experienced on the whiteboards was very triggering for me. It made me feel really bad. I just want to say this to any woman that's not her, that's undergoing this situation. Please leave. And sometimes you may have to leave where you're at. You may have to be prepared to abandon everything that you have. Abandon your job, abandon your education, abandon everything to escape. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, everything takes a back seat to your life. Okay? Because if you're not alive, you can't do nothing else. All right, let me go up here to Low Key. Go ahead, Low Key.
Hey girl, I like the live. I just wanted to say one thing I would suggest. I feel like for young Black girls, when we're younger, we just assume that, say our friend is in a DV situation, that we can just come like Superman and, just fix it. I feel like Black girls, we should be more cautious and always get the authorities involved. Don't ever feel like you can go up against an abusive man, because it's like, if he's beating your friend, he'll do worse to you without a thought. So I just feel like Black women should just be more cautious and always try to get the authorities involved, because at the end of the day, this is what they're trained for. We're not supposed to be putting ourselves in harm's way. And I feel like also be aware of people who isolate you. I feel like a lot of people think it's cute when they get with the man and that they stop talking to their friends and family. It's like, no, that's a tactic for you to be all alone so that you can't ask nobody for help. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
All right. I got you. I appreciate you, Low Key. And I just want to respond to two people in the comments. One person said leave silently. And several people said move in silence. And I think that's absolutely correct. If you are planning on leaving, don't tell him. If you planning on breaking up with him, getting rid of him, leaving, escaping, don't tell him at all. Move in silence, make your plans, get away where he doesn't know. That, because the most dangerous time is when you let a man know that you're going to leave. That's the biggest time, the risk factor of you being unalive. That's number one. And then there was another woman in the comments that said, don't make a man the pinnacle of like your self-worth. And I definitely agree with that. You cannot, even though like you just saw that there was a Black woman that came in here and said, oh, this must be the single ladies chat. People will try to make you feel as if you don't have a man, if you don't have a partner, that you're nothing and that you're nobody and that you're worthless. And because people say that to you, there are a lot of women that stay in relationships with men that are bad for them or that are abusing them because they don't want to be looked at as if they're nobody. I want you to know that having a man is not the end all be all of life. Just because you're single, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. That doesn't mean anything. Okay?
Yeah,
So
I
don't let
agree.
people put that on you. All
I
right?
feel like women, at the end of the day, some of these men they'll add more trauma and just dysfunction to your life. I feel like no man is worth you ruining your destiny and basically your life's path. And I feel like a lot of women end up being so desperate that they'll accept anything. And it's like you got one life to live. Why waste it on a man?
Oh, sorry. I accidentally muted you. Go ahead, Loki.
I feel like women just stop wasting your life on a man who has nothing going on. And that's just that on that. Because if he's able to risk his freedom by beating you, he don't give a damn about life. He don't give a damn about you. That's it.
All right. I got
bye.
you. Oh, were you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was done.
Okay. I
All right,
got you.
bye.
I got you. Appreciate you, sis. All right. I agree with everything that Low Key was saying. Let me go next up here. I'll set all you guys as timers that way since more people are coming in. Go ahead, Hailey. Are you there, Hailey? Let me send your request to
I'm
turn your mic
here.
on. Okay. Go ahead, sis.
Hey, okay, can y'all hear me? Oh,
Yes,
my
ma'am. Yes,
headset.
ma'am.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, please take it serious. Even the small stuff. I left my children's father going on 3 years now, and I left in silence. Like in the middle of the night, I got me and my kids. I had twin infants and a 1 year old. I got on the train and moved to New York. And I went to a domestic violence shelter. And my family was telling me, I don't know why you're doing it. You're just trying to hurt him. Y'all don't really have no power. He was never physical with you. And just because I never told them doesn't mean it didn't happen. So when I told them, like, oh no, he slammed me while I was pregnant, they was like, oh, okay, well, y'all got into an altercation. That's not an altercation. Like, please take everything serious. I feel like in the Black community, we think it's just like, okay, well, y'all got to fight. Y'all got an argument. It's not that deep. Like, we don't take stuff as serious. Like, a white woman, you can hit the wall beside her and she's going to be like, he tried to hit me. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, please take the small stuff serious. There was more things that happened with me and him, but I don't feel like that justifies me moving. I feel like, dang, I can't believe I stayed through even worse things than what I've shared. You know, so please take yourself serious, take your life serious, take your kids serious. The one thing I can say about Ekane that's hard for me to really, really watch is that she always says, oh, my kids was right outside the room. Oh, my kids saw it. Oh, my kids heard it. And it's like, that's a deal breaker for me. That's absolutely, like, there's no way that's about to happen. That was the one thing I thought in my head. It was like, oh, I have to go when my kids are little, because if my kids sit here and hear this man call me a stupid B, I would be mortified. I don't have no respect for my kids. I don't have no respect from him. So I just wanted to say, take everything seriously. Don't take nothing lightly. Don't play about yourself. And it's a soft girl life on the other side. Because this is the most peace I've ever had. I'm living in a luxury apartment. I did have to abandon everything. I left my job. I was a teacher in my state. I'm just now getting back into the school system in this new state. And it's going on 3 years. But this is the softest, most peaceful life I have ever lived. And he will try to retaliate. He is not involved with our kids. He won't call them or be involved with them to try to hurt me, to try to say, oh, well, you left. Even though he could still be involved, you know, in certain ways. I've offered to go to court to set up visitation. If that's what comes with it, then that's what comes with it. Because my kids, they don't know that kind of lifestyle. They're just me and their mom in their peaceful fun house. So that's all I want to say.
All right. I got you, Hailey. And I'm so happy that you were able to do that. So happy that you were able to get away and so happy that you're flourishing right now. I love that for you, sis. I really, really,
Thank
really, truly do. I
you.
think it's a beautiful thing to hear.
Y'all got this, ladies. Life is good. So don't let nobody think life is struggle. Life is good.
All right. I got you. All right. Let me go next up here to Tasia. Go
Yes.
ahead, sis.
Hello, my name is Tasia. I'm 37 from Louisiana. Holly, I just want to let you know that I'm very proud of you. I am a domestic violence advocate. I have been an advocate for 4 years now. One thing I never ask any victims when they come to me for assistance is, why didn't you leave? The reason I don't say, why did you leave, is because it's like I'm victim blaming them and judging them. Example, my mom left. I was 5 years old. She left her abuser. She was shot 17 times and is not here anymore. I left, and when I left, I was shot at. I was pew-pewed at. I was kidnapped, left in the woods. My family was in danger. So it's not as easy to tell anyone to just leave. I love that I can be a safe place for DV victims, male or female. I want you ladies to know it's help out there. Anybody in the comments, if you need any help, you can send me a follow request. Even though I'm in Louisiana, I can assist you with assistance. The first time that your abuser puts their hands on you, they're going to do it again. They're going to try to sweet talk their way back in and get you gifts, say everything is going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. And to the victims, please never blame yourself. Some people don't have the support. And I'm happy I had the support with my family. They never asked me why I didn't leave. They did not judge me. Now they are my biggest supporters with my programs that I have, especially in October for DV month. So to the victims out there, I do not want you all to think that it's your fault, because it's not your fault. I want all of you all to know your worth, add text to it. Being single, there's nothing wrong with being single, baby girl, or a young man. It's nothing wrong with being single. And the lady that was before Hailey, who said that it's just settling, I don't think it's just settling for anyone. It's a mental thing. It's hard to get over mentally. I know my time is up, so I'm gonna be done. But if anyone on this app needs any assistance, you all can send me a follow. I promise you will remain anonymous and I can assist you in your area. And to all the victims, I just want you all to know that I am very proud of you.
All right. I got you. I appreciate you so much, Tasia. All right, I'm gonna go next up here to hold on, let me block somebody in the chat. This I don't know what this person is, but I'm about to block them. Okay. All right, so let me go next up here to Rachel. Go ahead, Rachel.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm sick, so I sound crazy right now. But I wanted to respond to something that Loki had said when she was up here, when it comes to like being careful with kind of like involving yourself in a potential DV situation with the friends that you might have that are experiencing that. I think it's also important to be mindful of like where your friend might be cognitively when it comes to like their awareness of the situation that they're in, because like unfortunately a lot of women tend to like make excuses for the men who are abusing them. I think someone said it's like people, like a lot of women will like blame themselves or think that like they deserve it, and infiltrating yourself into the situation might even put the friendship you have like in jeopardy, because they might look at you as like the infiltrator, like the enemy, like somebody who's coming to break up the relationship that they have with this man that they say they love so much. So I think it's like very important to just be mindful of like where they're at when it comes to the experience they're having. And as a friend, of course, like always just make sure you're putting yourself in a position to support any way that you can. Like it's not our jobs to judge these women, but our friends who might be experiencing this, but putting ourselves in a position where it's like whenever they are ready to finally like get out of this situation to go. And of course, like if it comes down to a situation where it's literally like life or death, like yes, of course, intervene. But I think these are just like the psychological dynamics of domestic violence when it comes to how some women might be experiencing that as a friend or as a family member, as somebody who's like on the outside should be aware of. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, all right, I got you. I appreciate you, Rachel. For the people in the comments that keep talking about E. Kane is not a victim, like I just want y'all to know, any of y'all that comment that in the chat, I'm just blocking y'all, because first of all, this isn't about necessarily her. I've already said that I saw her write on this whiteboard today about all of the things that Chris has done to her over the years, and it really It really touched me to see all of these horrible things that she had experienced. For y'all to say that, like, oh, shit, Chris is a victim too, like, it, for you to even let that come out of your mouth, you're a goofy heifer. Like, honestly, truly. You think that her yelling and screaming and doing the things that she do it's equal to the same of him punching her and breaking up all of her things and degrading her and humiliating her? And y'all think that's on the same level? You don't think that he started off with this at first, seeing as though she was 18 years old? Like, y'all, the fact that there are so many black women that lack so much empathy for somebody that looks just like them, but will turn around and have it for a toothless man with taco meat all over his chest that looks like he's just a disgusting, dirty bum that don't wash him between the crack of his behind. Like, it's really something wrong with y'all. Like, legitimately. In no way, shape, form, or fashion would I ever take the side of a man over a black woman. I don't care if I saw a black woman just straight up jaw him, which if you don't know what jaw means, punch him in the mouth. I still wouldn't. Cause I still be like, I need more information. Why did she do that? Like, in the fact that there aren't more black women that are willing to do that, when black men stick together and men in general stick together, wrong or right, men could see a woman get essayed, left for unaliving on the side of the road, and the men are always going to link up and say, yeah, maybe she deserved that. What did she have on? Did she have on a mini skirt? Did she have on heels? Or if a woman gets beat up, what did she say? Did she say something to him that he didn't like? But the fact that there are so many women willing to not stand up for other women, y'all make me sick. Y'all make me sick. And the people that are coming here and talking about, what about men that get beat on? I don't care. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about black women specifically. So I don't know. It's scary. It's legitimately scary. Let me just keep going. Go ahead, Kirsten. Go ahead, sis.
Yes. Basically my perspective on this whole situation as a survivor myself, I've been through this, so I'm not speaking from a place of something I don't know. It doesn't matter how many friends you have. It doesn't matter how many phone numbers of shelters you can go to. It doesn't matter how many times you call the police on that man. When something within you says it's time to go, it's time to go. You cannot wait until another person pulls you out of that. You don't want to be an E. Kane with a list of craziness going on, because that list is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And your homegirl, you're going to turn against your homegirl for trying to tell you the truth. You're going to turn against the police for coming over and arresting him. When you want to leave an abusive man, it has to be an inside job. You have to look yourself in the face and say, I can't do this. No matter what the internet say, it doesn't matter. It could take more than one time, more than 10 times, but eventually you will have to look at yourself and say, I got to go. And that's all I wanted to say. Like, ladies, look at yourself and try to feel yourself. Try to feel yourself. Try to pull yourself out of this, because it's never going to lead you nowhere. And that's all I wanted to say, ladies.
All right. I got you. I appreciate you, Kirsten. And let me just say, and I don't want to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to be dismissive, but I just want to say that, yes, if you are leaving a domestic violence relationship, it's risky, but it's far more risky to stay. And there are way more success stories of women that have managed to leave with their lives. So I think a lot of times, if I'm going to be real, there are some women that use the potential of violence if they leave as an excuse to stay. And also, there's something else that I feel like we don't talk about, that a lot of acceptance of DV and disrespect and even emotional abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, is also rooted in male-centeredness and pick-meism, which is prioritizing that man over yourself, loving that man more than you do, and also feeling as if, who are you if you don't have a man? And all of those things need to be unpacked. And I'm not trying to victim blame anybody, but all of those things need to be unpacked. Let me block this guy, CYGGTV. Get out of here, Dusty. Okay, so let me go up here next to Kalandra. Go ahead, Kalandra. Hey, sis.
Hey Trigger, how you? I'm happy to catch y'all live. But I have a lot of thoughts about the topic, but I mainly have thoughts about the people in the comments. It's just I think it's really sad that you guys have a hard time viewing her as a victim. Like I personally don't like her, but I don't think anyone should be in a DV relationship, especially a fellow black sister. Especially when you see the amount of black women that are being unalived by their partners. The numbers of black homicide are like really sad to me. They make me sad every time I turn on the news and I see another girl that has been unalived by her partner. And it's really sad that people don't have a lot of empathy for each other as black women. I really think that's the problem. And I'm going to say something to a lot of you guys in the comments who feel like EK's not a victim. If you are the kind of person that how you feel about a topic changes depending on who it applies to, I'm really going to have to say that you're not as strong on it as you think. And I saw this in a video that I saw. Like, I don't personally like EK, but at the same time, I still don't wish any, especially a black woman, in an abusive, in a DV relationship. Sorry, TikTok, in a DV relationship. And I think it's really sad that we as black women have been indoctrinated to the point that we can't give other women grace. Like, as black women, you're like, I'm not saying that you should condone certain everything that each other do, but the fact that like I see a lot of women on this app being so quick to like drag other black women, but then you
Just
be in
one
the
second. I'm
comments.
sorry. Just 1 second. Monica, please don't block people that are in the chat. Like, if they're in the chat box, don't block them. Like they.
What happened?
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay. Go ahead, Kalandra.
And I think it's sad, especially like the pygmies, like the grace that y'all give men, but you don't give that to another woman is crazy to me. Like, I see women every day on this app justifying men, but I bet like if the shoes on the other foot, you would never give that grace to a woman. And I just want to know if they let you know that if you're that kind of female, you're a part of the reason why patriarchy stays in its place, because you have allowed men to make you believe that other women are the problem. And at the end of the day, the grace that you should give EK, yeah, I don't like her, but at the same time, I don't personally think that anybody deserves to be in a DV relationship or go through all that with a man, especially since she's a mother. And especially when you see the amounts of black femicide cases, she could be one of those, unfortunately. And I just think that's really sad about these comments.
All right, I got you. Yeah, I saw Yes, I Am a Baddie's comments in the chat. But she was in a box and I was waiting to talk to her about the things that she was saying. And I think that unfortunately with some black women, that their default is to always protect black men, because it's no way you're gonna tell me that a man that is 7 years older than a young woman and gets with her when she's 18 and she has a lot of trauma, that she's not a victim. Like, yeah. Okay. So, and this person here in the chat, Shelly, are you a man? Is this, and are you black? Cause I can't tell. Cause there's two people in the picture. So Shelly, are you a black woman? If so, I'll bring you up. But if you're not, then no. Okay, let me keep going. Let me go to the next person. Madam World. Go ahead, madam. I'll set your timer. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, hey y'all. My take on this is coming from someone that has been in EK's situation. It doesn't be that easy to leave. Like, when you first get with these men, they manipulate you. They make you feel as if you're loved. They make you feel as if you're the only person. It starts with isolating you from your family first. That's the first thing they do. Make you not be around your friends, take you away from your family. So the first time they do it, they apologize. You feel like they're never going to do it again. And then it's just a repeating cycle. And then it gets to the point to where it'll get so bad to where you're actually scared to leave. And I've seen people that have tried to leave, have tried to get the police involved and become unalived. I literally had to move my kids to a whole nother state without family helping anything, because it got to the point to where they got so sick of me going back and forth. Like, I'll get my family involved, the ones that did still talk to me, but then I'll go right back. So your family will get sick of it as well. And then you become embarrassed for staying. And people be like, oh, she should just leave. She should just leave. But when a man put that much fear in you, it's not that easy, ladies. So for someone to just be sitting up there bashing somebody that's going through a DV relationship, that is shame. Just shame on you. Because you never know.
All right. I got you. I'm glad that you were able to get out, madam. I appreciate you, sis. I just want to say, the best tool in a black woman's arsenal is prevention, and recognizing the signs of a man that can potentially harm you in advance. So I had already said earlier, signs, aggression, violence, calls the women a B word. He's been to prison. He's been to jail. He's controlling, any type of disrespect to you early on. Look at the way he treats others, service workers, providers, his mother, a lot of different things that you can see in advance, because some of the men that I see, black women that have chosen, that have reacted in violent acts, they could have easily been vetted out and not chosen. Not saying that you can always do this, because you cannot, but I will say in a lot of instances you can. Even if you're talking to someone and their first moves are to kind of isolate you or tell you that, hey, I'm the one that really got your back, not your mama, not this and that. You should already know that right there, he's in a phase of manipulating you. Somebody also said if he's punching things around you, I definitely agree. Men that punch holes in walls, men that degrade you. I've said this, a man that addresses women as the B word. He says, you're my B, or these B's do this or these B's do that. That is a man that will unalive you and kick your teeth in. I understand that there are some black women that play those B word games or call each other the B word. I don't think you should do that, but that's just me. But if a man is doing it, a man that will use the B word, I promise you, he'll punch you in your mouth. But let me keep going. And just once again, if you are an 18-year-old girl like E. Kane was, and you come across a man that is 7 years older than you, I think that's their age gap, and you have a lot of trauma, and then this man is taking you through it, of course your mind is going to be altered in some way. And I'm not saying that I respect the fact that she has her children around this, because I don't think that she should. And I think that not wanting your children to grow up in a crazy, wild, mentally damaging environment, that should be enough for you to take whatever chances that you have to escape. But this isn't really about her, and this isn't to shame her, because I do believe that she's a victim. But let me go over here to Yes, I'm a Baddie. Go ahead.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. So I just want to say I've been watching her for a long time. I was watching her before she even became He Came. And I just want to say I have watched her before. I did feel bad for her. I felt bad because I found out that she was in an abusive relationship with Chris. You know what I'm saying? She has two kids. At that time, she had two kids. I think her daughter was very little. And I felt really bad for the girl. But as time goes on, I think I've been watching her since like 2022. It's 2026. You're a victim, but now you're becoming a willing participant in the relationship. And let me just say it like this. You have a daughter that's watching you. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter is watching this abusive relationship go on. So, matter of fact, all her kids have trauma now because of what you're going through. And me watching her, I seen that, she doesn't really have a lot of family, doesn't really have a lot of friends. You know what I mean? So I see a lot of reasons as to why she's with Chris. Chris is probably the only source of help that she has for her kids. You know what I'm saying? So I see why she's with Chris. And I understand people that have been in DV relationships. I have witnessed many of my family members being in DV relationships. So I know how it goes. And I still feel bad for the girl, but at the same time, it's like, when are you going to grow up? Or just in case, when are you going to see the light? Because you have 3 kids by now. You know what I'm saying? And Ekane, I'm not trying to be funny, but she's not a fit mother to me. She's not. She was bragging about being on PILLS while pregnant. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't understand why people really rally behind her, but it comes to a point where you have to be a role model for your kids, and especially your daughter. You know what I mean? And I'll land my plane there.
Okay, all right, okay. I got what you're saying, and I'll just say this. I think that in society, like for people to possibly empathize with black women have to be a perfect victim, and there is no perfect victim. I do think that Ekane is most definitely a victim and definitely undergoing a severe amount of abuse and also mental manipulation. Is it cool that she has her children around this? Absolutely not. But I don't think that, like, because you said a lot of the times in the comments that she wasn't a victim, and I do believe that she is. And I think that it costs nothing to be empathetic. Even if she's not moving on your time or when you feel like you would have did it or that you never would have done it, she's still a black woman like you that's undergoing severe trauma and pain. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it costs nothing to be nice and caring.
I
Even if
also
you
said
don't
that.
agree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because
I
you were
said that
saying a
I
lot
feel.
of stuff in the comments. I
I
just
said
find
she's
that
not
to
a
be
victim. She's
weird.
a willing participant at this point.
I don't necessarily think she's a willing participant. If you've mentally broken someone down since they were 18 years old, now their mind and the way they think and the way they process things is not going to be normal. So they're not going to react in the way that you would because your mind isn't in the state that theirs is in. So it's
But
like you're
I don't
on
know
the
if y'all watch
outside
her.
looking in, judging
I don't,
somebody that's already been through things that you haven't been through.
but
You
I don't
get what
know if
I'm
y'all
saying?
watch her. I don't know if y'all watch her. This girl comes on my timeline a lot. I watch this girl. I said I've been watching her since 2022. She knows what she's doing. She left that man multiple times. She knows that all this stuff is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that, oh, she's so trauma bonded to where she feels like all this stuff is right. No, she knows what all this stuff that she's doing is wrong. You know what I mean? She's a very smart girl. But like I said, it comes to a point where you have to be a role model for your kids. And you not being a role model shows that you're an unfit mother. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right, I got you. Let me keep going. Like I said, I feel like, you know, there on this side of things, there's gonna be black women that feel empathy for her, and then there's gonna be black women that don't. And I don't feel like there's a way to change that. Like I said, I see both sides. I do feel like her children are there witnessing crazy things, and that should be enough to motivate her. But sometimes when people are mentally broken and mentally damaged, people can be like that and not really see the seriousness of what's going on. Just like you have people that can be functional alcoholics, they can or functional drug addicts, right? They could be doing the worst of the worst, but they can see functional other people, so people are holding them to a standard of mental stability even though they're mentally unstable. But like I said, the only thing that I just feel is just crazy. I just don't, for me as a black woman, I find it to be crazy with the way that black women are treated in society, why you can't be empathetic to a black woman no matter what she's going through. Because even if that couldn't be you, it could be something else where you need to be extended empathy and grace. And maybe somebody will look at whatever you've done, because nobody's perfect, and say, oh, well, I can't feel for her either. Oh, well, look, she was over there. Somebody did something to her. Maybe she shouldn't have been outside at that time. She did that and the third. You know, I just feel like
I feel you,
we as
Sugar. I
more,
feel you.
just a second, we as black women need to work more on having empathy for each other. Like, we can't talk about the sisterhood and this, that, and the third, and then you feel like because somebody not doing things the way you think they should, they're not deserving of empathy or kindness. But that's all I'm saying. Like, that's just something to think about, because as what we put out there, and I think people don't realize this because we're online, but the energy that you put out, the things that you put direct towards others, the way you feel about people, the grace you give, the forgiveness you extend, that eventually will come back to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So just be careful on how you treat others because it will always come back to you. It's really just that simple. But let me just keep going. Let me go up here to Shelly. Go ahead, Shelly. Let me start your timer.
Okay, so what I want to say is that I hear what you're saying, but it has nothing to do with her. I don't think people are not empathizing with her because she is black. I think that because she is black and because we are her sisters, her black women, right? We cannot enable her because she is black. We cannot be like, oh, we feel so sorry for her. Her situation is, like I said, is highly disturbing and it's sad. Any human being is going to feel sorry for her or feel bad for her just on the simple basis of we're both humans, we're both women, and this is disturbing. But at the end of the day, this is a woman with the resources. She has the money and she has resources to be able to get out of this situation. Why hasn't she? I think we all know this is traumatizing. It's a trauma bond. It's mental, but she's been going through this for years. She's not 19 anymore. She's 26, about to be 30, 3 children's in, you know what I mean? And so it's like, we can't continue to be like, oh, it's not that simple. We know it's not that simple. Now I think we need to switch the conversation on, yes, she's a victim, but now, okay, how can she get out of this situation? Like, let's get her out of this. Instead of being, oh, I feel bad for her, black women, no, just because she's black, we can't continue to enable.
Let me just stop you right there. First of all, nobody said because she's black that people are going to enable her. What I said is that black women, since we are the most undermined group, the most disrespected group, the most degraded group, the most unforgotten about group, is that we have to extend a grace and love and kindness to each other because literally no one else is going to do it collectively. That's what I said. So I don't like it when people try to make it like, oh, well, we as black women, we shouldn't treat each other a certain type of way because we're black. No, we absolutely should treat each other a certain type of way because we're black, because others treat us a certain type of way because we're black. If that makes sense at all. And what I'm saying is grace is free. Kindness is free. Empathy is free. At the end of the day, you, Shelly, yes, I'm a baddie. Y'all are not going through none of this. Y'all are not experiencing the things that she's experiencing. Her kids are not y'all kids. So what I'm saying is grace and empathy is free. And you keep saying, oh, well, it's 2026. And she has the resources, if you are a prisoner in your own mind, it doesn't matter what resources you have. The fact that she has resources should let you know how imprisoned she is in her mind of just that simple fact. If you are 18 years old in the most fundamental developmental stages of your life as a woman, you meet a man that's almost 10 years older than you, and he starts doing all of these things to you, and he's the only man that's shown you even an ounce of kindness, then yeah, there's going to be some mental things there where that you're going to accept things and be treated a certain type of way. And I think that's what you're forgetting. But I really do believe that if E. Kane was a white woman and she had these things going on, I believe y'all wouldn't be saying half the things that y'all say.
Not
Really.
necessarily.
This is the same reason why we got
the backlash that she got.
Please don't. The same way we got like the Kardashians, you got Kim K, you got Kylie Jenner, you got what's her name? The other one, I don't even keep up with the Memphis. Courtney, and all of them that are what's her name? Chloe, all of them baby mamas. But do you ever call them baby mamas? No. Nobody ever says that to them. Ran through women for the streets. I don't hear anyone ever talk about them and discuss them in this way. So there's a grace definitely that is given to Chloe. Because Chloe, doesn't she have a baby by Tristan? Were they married? No. Anyway, all I'm saying is that grace is free, kindness is free, empathy is free, and absolutely, wholeheartedly, 100%, if you're a black woman, you should extend a grace and kindness that you don't extend to nobody else to black women. You absolutely should do that. But I think I interjected on Shelly. So, I think that, she said grace would cause her to take accountability. I think that people have used the word accountability and now they just ran with it. They heard the red pill dudes use it. How can you, a stranger, right, that don't live in her house, that don't pay none of her bills, that's not a friend or relative to her, how can you hold her accountable? How do you think that you can hold her accountable by saying, oh, she's not a victim and she deserves what she's getting? You think that's holding somebody accountable? Or do you think having a live about it, helping other black women maybe possibly see the ways that they can leave, and just saying, hey, sister, let me speak some love and kindness into you. That is the best way that you can hold somebody accountable. Not blasting them and talking about them. Like, in what world has that helped anyone? Like, what? But I'm going to unmute you and give you another minute because I interjected on you. Go ahead.
No, what I was saying is I have a lot of grace for her, and I understand. Like I said, I feel bad and I understand because I have been in a situation like that as well. So I get where she's coming from. But what I'm also saying is that I think now we are past the point in her situation. We're past the point of saying, hey, fellow black woman or sister, we're going to speak love into you and uplift you. Like, we need to kind of like take her hand and be like, we understand, we feel bad for what you're going through, but okay, what's the step that we're taking to get out of this situation? I think just giving grace and staying there is counterproductive to her.
Okay, so what do you think that you can do? What do you think? What does accountability for her look like to you?
No, I'm not saying for us as the viewers to hold her accountable to anything, because we can't do anything.
Well, that's what you said, though. You said she needs to be held accountable.
For us to hold her accountable.
How?
For her to acknowledge and take accountability, like I Am Baddie was trying to say, of the role and part that she is playing into this whole situation alongside Christopher, the abuser, as well. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, just 1 second. I appreciate you, Shelly. I guess I get what you're saying, sort of. Mid Ushi 16, you said Trigger, you're too fanned out. I want you to know I'm not a fan of E. Kane at all. She is blocked. Okay, I blocked her years ago. Okay, I think it was like maybe I came across her content. I thought she was funny. I saw that she was being abused by Chris. I was hoping that she would get out. I remember even showing my husband videos of hers, and we had conversations about it. I'm not fanned out at all. I have this lady blocked. The only reason why I even had this live is because a clip farm person, where they take them clips and put them up there, had clip farmed like, I guess 7 or 8 clips of a live that she had where she wrote all of the things that Chris had done to her on a whiteboard. Like, she went from 18 to 2026. And all the things that she was mentioning, I had no idea that he had done all of those things to her. And the way she was explaining it, I felt so bad. But even beyond that, because I don't think that E. Kane is ready to leave at all, even though it's having a damaging effect on her children, I wanted to use her as a way for me to talk to other women, average everyday women, about how they can break free. But I'm definitely not fanned out, baby. But once again, I've already said that my priority always, if you don't know who I am, my priority is always black women and black girls. And I didn't say that it wasn't about E. Kane, that it's not about the children. I already said that I feel like what she's doing is damaging to her children. But I'm not their mother. She's already said she didn't have a bajillion CPS cases. So she has to make the choice to protect her children and leave. Should she do that? Absolutely. But once again, what are we talking about? Like I said, y'all love to try to say things, try to throw it off when I'm trying to say that we should be more loving to black women. But like I said, y'all did say in the comments to hold her accountable. And now that I'm asking y'all what y'all can do to hold her accountable, what we supposed to do, y'all don't have no answer. Because y'all just used to saying that word without having no meaning behind it. Just the same way these black men do in the Red Pill lives. Accountability, accountability, accountability. Y'all don't even be knowing what that means. Because how you going to hold somebody that you don't know accountable? What? Make that make sense. I'm just going to say, beyond all of that, I don't even want to make this about E. Kane because it really isn't about her. Totally. If you're a black woman and you are in a state of being abused, there are resources for you. You shouldn't let the risk of you possibly being unalived by that person if you leave keep you to stay. Because if you stay, that's 100% going to be the outcome. At least if you leave, there's an opportunity for you to possibly be able to escape and leave. That's all I'm saying. I think I was talking too much. And people keep talking about the children. I can't debate with y'all about that. I believe that is true. Unless he hear Money Morg says you made it about E. Kane with your background, boo. Because she was the one that inspired the live, boo. So that's fine. But what I'm saying is that if you read it, what does it say underneath her name? How to break free and warning signs, exit strategies, and reclaiming your power, right? So maybe you might want to read further than just her name, boo. Okay, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of, I'm being kind of disgusted in this about this.
I just wanted to add a point
Go ahead.
because I feel like this girl trying to be funny. Because the internet is probably based on average people having third grade reading levels, accountability is not bashing people. I do understand how a lot of y'all do that. You bash people online and you think that's holding them accountability. Her life is holding her accountability. The things that she constantly go through with Chris is holding her accountability. Life is going to hold you accountability for all of your choices, but the internet thinks that bashing is holding her accountable. And what I want to say about her motherly part is that a lot of you guys on the internet have to understand that having a baby does not make a person a good mother. Things don't turn on automatically unless that's something that you want to do. And E. Kane has not gotten to the point in her motherhood journey where she believes that her children growing up in a protective household is better than them growing up in a two-parent household. She hasn't gotten to that point in her life because of the mental abuse that well, you can't say, I'm sorry, because of the mental things that she has went through with Chris. So in her mind, it's better for her kids to be in a household with their father instead of her protecting them. But at the end of the day, the consequences of her actions when her children grow up and they have trauma and they're in therapy and they have to go through things in their life and they don't speak to her because of the things that she put them through, going through all that stuff with their dad, that is going to be her accountability. And that is the problem with people on the internet, is that y'all believe that accountability is just dragging people, bashing them, and like just like y'all do with kids. Holding people accountable that already have children, you're not right to do that. At the end of the day, her accountability is going to be her life. Life is the biggest thing to hold you in accountability. When you have to sit with the choices that you made, you go out here and you get pregnant by a man that you're not married to, he ends up being a deadbeat. I personally know I had got to a point in my life that I decided that wasn't going to be my life anymore. But because when I decided to say it's better for my son to see me in a household where I'm healthy instead of that. But at the end of the day, in E. Kane's situation, her life is going to hold her accountable as she grows, as those children grow up and they're able to express certain things.
All right. I got you, Kalandra. All right, let me go up here next to Sadidi. Go ahead, Sadidi.
Okay, so like I'm not the biggest E. Kane fan, but like I'm also young, so it's like I try to give her grace because she's young and like we said, she's growing and she's learning. What she was saying was correct. Them kids are gonna grow up with trauma, but I'm the kind of person like, what can we do to her? Like we're literally just watching this lady. Like we don't know what she really going through. She claims she going to therapy. She claims she trying. So it's like that's just giving her grace. Like I don't know. Like I can't judge her too much because, yeah, she wrong. She should never had another baby with him. That was crazy. But like, I don't know. I just like this whole like talking about her, like sitting around talking about her live thing. It's just like it's weird. Like I just don't get it. Like, what's the point of the live? That's my thing. Like that's really why I came up here. That's my thing.
You said, what's the point of the live?
Yeah, like what? Like, are you
The
trying to
point of
help
the
her? Or
live
are
is
you
not
judging her?
Yeah, the point of the live isn't about her. The live was about if you didn't hear me already, I said that today I saw, because I have her blocked. Okay, I'm gonna be very transparent. I saw a clip farming was in my FYP or whatever of her, and she was writing all of the things that Chris has done to her over the years on a whiteboard. She had to use 2 whiteboards from 2018, I think, to like 2026 now.
Oh, I seen that. That was
And
terrible.
yeah, and I felt bad. And beyond her, I said, hey, if I have a live and I talk about the signs of Black women, regular Black women, not her, because I don't think that she's ready to leave even now, that regular Black women can see that they could leave and how to break free from a domestic violence relationship. The way to do it, how to do it, even how to avoid coming across an abusive man in the first place. Because when we're talking about accountability, if you really want to hear it, a lot of men that are abusive can show you the signs before you even give them an ounce of being with them, being their girl, living with them, staying with them. The signs are there, but a lot of women ignore them. So I wanted to talk about that, but more people wanted to focus on EK, which I understand. I did put her picture up here, but I only put her picture up here is because she was the one that inspired the live. And I didn't feel like I could put a picture of a regular woman because, then people probably think somebody got unalived or something like that. So
Yeah, you're
that
not
was the
wrong. Now
purpose
I
of the
think
live.
about it, she has a lot of young black girls watching her, so now it's like they're gonna think that's okay. Most of these girls' mamas ain't even teaching them, so it's like they're gonna look up to E. Kane, which is crazy. But you're right. I ain't gonna lie, I came in here a little like not mad, but I was like, why you talking about E. Kane? But like now I heard you explain it, it most definitely makes sense. But I got you. I get you. You're right.
All right, I
You're right.
appreciate you, Sadiddy. I appreciate you. I wasn't up here trying to drag nobody or drag black women at
No,
all.
you right. We need to hear that. A lot of these girls ain't getting taught right. A lot of these girls don't have dads in their life, so they watching E. Kane, and E. Kane is just their influence right now, which is the craziest thing. But yeah, that was it, girl. Thank you.
All right, no problem, sis. All right, let me go next up here to Honey Cloud. Go ahead, Honey Cloud.
Oh, girl. Hey, y'all. I done
Hey.
came up and down. This definitely had me triggered. And it's because I do feel we should have more grace for black women considering. And one thing that is not being mentioned too, in the cycle of this abuse, every day ain't bad. And when you're going through those ups and downs, the highs are so good that it'll make you, that they will tell you whatever you want to hear. They'll do things to you that make you feel so good. And you'll forget. Well, I ain't gonna say you'll forget, but you'll put some of the bad times in the back of your mind because you're like, well, maybe he does love me. Maybe he does care about me. He ain't always putting his hands on me. He ain't always doing that. And when you're young, the way she was when she got trapped in with him, that really does something to your mind. If you haven't gone through something like that, it's very hard to see it. It's very hard to understand it. Some men will love bomb you. And that's when a lot of the times they sneak in their isolation from your family and friends. You won't see it like that because you want to be up under him. You want to be, oh, my man, my man, my man. Every time your friends call you, oh, I'm with so-and-so, I'm with so-and-so. And you enjoying it because you're not realizing what's truly going on. And a lot of the times older men do that to younger women because they not hip to that. They know what they doing. He's a predator. So anybody that doesn't feel that she's a victim, I really feel sad for you because I would hate for you or somebody that's close to you to go through something like that and you can't empathize with them. It's so many other points I had. I think I'm done.
Okay. All right. I got you, Honey Clouds. Jenny, in the request box, I asked you 2 times, are you a black woman? You didn't respond, but you said another request. Are you a black woman, Jenny? Let me know if you are or you are not. But if you're not, go ahead and drop your request because I'm not talking to you. Okay? This is colored only. All right?
Can I say one
Yeah.
more thing? I just thought
Yeah, go
about.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Honey Cloud.
Okay, E. Kane has left. There have been times where she leaves, like she's moved. He's breaking to her house, doing all types of crazy stuff. She does find the courage to try to leave him. I think that dude is really dangerous. And a lot of her going on live and uploading this stuff is to document it and to show what has happened. So can't nobody write her story for her in the event that something tragic happens. It's almost like a public diary at this point. You don't have to watch it. You can keep scrolling. But if anything was to happen, almost like, I don't know if y'all keep up with the Brene and Tam stuff. It's like a public diary, an archive. This happened, that happened. She tried to leave. Like, I think part of her going live, yeah, she's monetizing it, but she's also spreading awareness and trying to do that for her safety. I feel she don't have nobody around her.
All right. I got you, Honey Clouds. All right, let me go next up here to Spencer. Let me start your timer, sis. Go ahead, Spencer.
Hi, honey bunny. This topic here is very touchy for me because I am a person who was a victim of domestic violence at one point in my life, and it's been about 5 years now. And I don't want to specifically speak on E. Kane per se, but just in general of the of people women in these situations. And I want to piggyback off some of the things that Honeycrow said. It being in this type of situation, you definitely have to understand. You have to go through it to understand. One of the things that why so many women don't talk about their situations is simply because of victim blaming. Victim blaming is probably one of the worst things, the main things why so many women do stay in these situations. And yes, accountability has to definitely play a part in a lot of this. But however, sometimes you don't know that you're in a situation until you're in it, and then you're too deep into it to try to get yourself out of it. Like I didn't know what a narcissistic person was before I met my son's father. And just once I got out of it, sometimes I ask myself like, dang, how did I even get myself into that situation? And it's like I didn't know. I didn't know the signs. I didn't know at the time. I didn't even know what red flags were. He was 12 years older than me at the time, and it was just so many variables in that situation. And what I will say is getting how to get out of a situation like that. One, you got to make it up in your mind that you do want to get out of it. Like I knew for a fact that after once I found out I was pregnant with my second son, I knew that I had to get out of that situation because I knew it was either going to be life or death for me, and it was something I didn't want my children to also see, or to even be raised in that type of environment to learn those same traits. So everybody's story is definitely different. Thankfully, like he did isolate me from my family, all of the things that Honeycrow said, I didn't have anybody. And it was only one person that knew about the physical abuse, which was my sister. And it was my brother who had to physically come and get me, even though, I was ready to leave. Like I was ready to get out. I just didn't know how. It was the beginning of COVID. I didn't have no job. I didn't have anything. So they also isolate you financially to where you can't leave. And it's like, and I will speak on in just a little bit. You have to want better especially when you have kids. You have
I
to
give
want
you two
better for
more
your
minutes, Spencer.
I'm okay. I'm sorry, dear. I wasn't even looking at the time. But you have to definitely want to leave when you have kids and now it's not just you that's in the situation; it's your children that's in the situation. And she has both sex, male and female, and she doesn't want her child. You shouldn't want your young daughter to feel and think that this is the right way to go, or this is the type of person she needs to choose. And you don't. And she shouldn't want her sons to be in a space where this is what they learn that they can do to other women as they get older, because of course that's not what you want. And like I said, when you're in that situation, some women don't know, some women don't know how to get out. And I think you gotta have some type of accountability to ask yourself like, dang, what is going to be end goal here? It's going to be either life or unaliving. Basically, it's going to be one of the two, and you got to choose which one you want. And I know for something, like I look at myself each and every day in the mirror, and I thank the Most High Himself that I was able to get out of that situation, because right after I got out of my situation, it was five other women in different parts of the country that were being unalived by their partners. And the reason that some people don't they choose to go back is because they're the only support that they think they have in their mind. It's also a trauma bond. It's so many variables and so many things in that plays into a domestic violence situation that some people that don't have never been through it won't understand. And you really do have to go through some things to understand why some things are the way that they are.
Okay. All right. I got you, Spencer. I appreciate you, sis. I did quickly want to acknowledge a couple things that somebody said in the comments. I think it was Francie who mentioned like her mother and like her and I guess her siblings asking her mother to get a divorce from their abusive father or her mother's boyfriend. I don't know exactly. But and then she said that the mother beat them. And I just want to say that, and this isn't about EKN or whatever. This is just about women in general that engage in situations like that. That's why it's so important to talk about pick-meism and male-centeredness. and also mamming and muling, because that is something that is indoctrinated into Black women and Black girls from a very young age, that you are worthless without the attention of a man, or if you don't have a man. That's why I can't tell you how many lives I have. I could be talking about doggone what type of food I want to eat for the day, and it'll be a Black man that'll come in alive and say, "Where your man at? You got a man? Oh, this must be the single light ladies chat." Just like there was a Black woman that came here and did that today. And because that is often done to Black women, telling Black women that, hey, you're worthless if you don't have a man, that you need to want to have a man, that you need to center your whole life around a man, and encouraging pick-me-ism, there are so many women that are willing to sacrifice everything, their lives, their children's lives, everything for the presence of a man that is not even worth the skin that he's in. And that's something that people don't want to unpack. I think that is a large portion of why E. Kane does the things that she does. It's because of pick-me-ism and male-centeredness that has been indoctrinated in most Black women. I think it's 100%, but you have to unpack it and acknowledge it for you to do better and figure out how to stop doing it. And another thing, and people were saying like, well, what can women do? I know people nowadays, don't believe in God or whatever, or agnostics or atheists, but for anyone that's on the fence, I promise you, praying to God, praying to your creator, hitting those knees and asking God for guidance and asking God, can they help you? How you can be helped, how you can be healed, how you can get away. It's very, 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 very important. Please don't let people minimize the importance of prayer, and specifically praying to your creator, the being that made you.
Can
And
I?
argue with your mama about that. But I do got to keep going because I got to go to the next person that's been waiting. Let me go up here to Six in the Mix. Go ahead, Six in the Mix.
Hey everybody. So I kind of forgot my train of thought because y'all just hitting so many good notes. I'm like, yeah. But personally, I was in a domestic violence relationship. I just got out last year of August. That was from the time I was 18 to the time I was 26. I just turned 27 in October. So 7, 8 years. And when people talk about, leaving, I want to let you know that sometimes, yes, it's not always hard to leave, as everybody say, but there's also things like, for my situation, I got a protection order. I had stuff filed against this man. There was orders in place. There was, and men like this, they don't care. They don't care about your boundaries. They don't care about the precautions you're trying to take. They don't got no respect for you, your home, your things, nothing. So this man kept coming to my apartment, kept knocking on my windows in the middle of the night. Stuff like that will get you kicked out after so long, even with those protections in place, because at some point we dealing with white folks. They're going to think you playing in their face. They're going to think you wasting court time. They're going to think you taking him back, especially when there's kids involved. They're going to end up, the police even told me one time, we feel like at this point, it's just a family dispute. It's nothing we could do. It's not always easy to just tell a person to just leave, or tell a person, why can't you just do this? Some people actually are trying to leave, and they are being prevented, in different ways, in different areas. I had to leave the whole state. I had to leave sometimes you got to start over and just create a new life somewhere else. But that's how you can get out of it. Everybody can't just get up and leave. Now, granted, I was blessed and highly favored to be able to do that. And shout out to my support system. You feel me? But I understand everybody can't do that. If you got to stay in your state, you got to fight your way out of this the best that you can. You want to try to work on your self-esteem so you don't even get put into these situations to begin with. And when I say work on your self-esteem, I mean believe who a person is the first time that they show you. The first time he start being mean, block him, cut him off, delete him. The first time he call you a name, the first time he even push you a little too hard, he shouldn't be putting his hands on you in no type of way other than lovingly. Block, delete, move on. Learn how to point out these people before you get involved with these people. That's how we can prevent this. Working on yourself. No shade. I don't have no bad feelings towards E. Kane, but we have never heard this young woman sit down and say, you know what? I'm just gonna take time to myself. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna do. Even when she was on her so-called break with Chris, right? We ain't see nothing. She said she was going to therapy. She said she quit going to therapy because the therapist told her whoop the woo, whoop the woo. We have never seen her actually sit and get to know herself to understand what she want out of life. You know, you have to know yourself. You
I'll
gotta.
give you one
You
more
have to,
minute, sis.
okay, I'm just rambling, but you know, just take the time to know you so you can actually know what you want and what you're looking for, and know how to be in your own energy. Cause like we was talking about, when you we indoctrinated with the needing a man and wanting a man stuff. You have to work yourself out of that and fall in love with you, and like cut off anything that compromises your self-love. So I just want to say, everybody just be careful who you get yourself involved with. Leave at the first sign of anything opposite of what you're looking for, and stay safe. It's crazy. But yes, just everybody take care of themselves. I done lost my train of thought.
All right. I got you. Appreciate you, Six. I just wanted to say, I noticed that when women talk about the fact of like women that have been in abusive relationships, and they'll be like, I left. There'll be women that will say like, oh, well, such and such was unalived, or this person didn't make it, or that person didn't make it. I just want to say once again, there's a risk factor in leaving, but there's even a bigger risk factor in staying. There are far more women who have survived that left than women that stay, and their whole lives and existences are miserable and filled with pain and abuse. So and that's another reason why it's so important to talk about avoiding the red flags and avoiding these men before you even get in a relationship with them. Well, because the preventative is better than the solution, right? So if we can prevent it from even happening, then we don't have to worry about women getting out and surviving and risking losing their lives and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so maybe I need to do another live where we focus on strictly preventing, strictly red flags, strictly seeing things that'll show you that men are not the ones that you should talk to. I already said a man that will raise his voice to you, man that talks to you disrespectfully, a man that addresses women as the B words, period. In any way, I don't care if he calls you my B. If he calls you my B or a B, he will definitely kick your teeth in and unalive you. It's just that simple. The type of music that he listens to. If you talking to a man and all he's listening to is NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk and all of these other fools, I can guarantee you that spirit is on him and is going to manifest in your life in some type of way. Right? A man has been in prison. A man has been in jail. Under any circumstances, do not entertain a man that's been in prison or to jail. A man that has a complicated relationship with his mother. He hates his mother. She's treated him bad, whatever the case may be. He will take that out on you. Guarantee you he will take that out on your face. Right? A man that has multiple baby mamas. A man that's sexually undisciplined. It's a whole lot of other things that we can talk about in preventative manners. But right now we're just talking about what happens if you're already there. And leaving the state is a great way. That's how I was able to escape my abusive ex-husband, was to leave the state. Sometimes you may have to leave with the clothes that's on your back. You can't get your clothing. You can't get your kids' diapers. You can't get their diaper bag. You can't get none of their onesies. You can't do nothing. You just have to leave with what's on your back and go to another state and go stay in the shelter there. Sometimes it's just that serious, but even though that may be uncomfortable, because who wants to stay in the shelter? But I will tell you what, it's far more uncomfortable to be in a casket, okay, than to be in a shelter, sharing a space with other people. And I'm not trying to sound like I don't care, because I've been in the exact same situation. I'm just saying that, hey, you know what I'm saying? You got to prioritize yourself. And if you have children, you chose to bring those children here, right? They didn't ask to be here, and they didn't ask to be in an abusive situation. So regardless on how risky your escape is, you owe it to your children to leave. Okay? But let me keep going, because I'm about to wrap this live up. I'm going to let these two ladies speak, and then I'm going to get out of here, y'all, because this is actually very emotionally draining on me to talk about these things, because I've put the abuse that I've experienced behind me. You know, I've been married to my second husband for 16 years, who was a very kind, nice man, never raised his voice to me or did anything to me. So I don't live that life any longer. So to dredge this up and talk about it is actually very emotionally draining for me. But I feel like I really wanted to say it because I love Black women, and I felt like maybe that we could help somebody today. All of us, all of the ladies that have come up here and spoken their truth and expressed their thoughts and feelings, even the women that I don't agree with as well. I appreciate y'all too. But let me go up here next to Lay Richardson. Go ahead, sis. If I'm saying your name right, if I said your name wrong, let me know.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I feel like one of the reasons Ekane won't leave that situation, speaking from experience, both of my parents were drug addicts. I really didn't have any family, so I wanted to be loved. I wanted someone that would stay. And I met my ex when I was, going to school, and I told him absolutely everything about me. And I feel like once I fell in love with him, that's when he started to show his true colors. And before I became a mom, for the longest, he would always put his hands on me. He would say demeaning things to me, like he would really hurt me. And I would take it. I would take it because he was choosing me. He was staying with me. And for the first time, I had love. And, it was just me. It wasn't anyone else. And so for so long, I took that for 4 years, and I ended up becoming a mom in 2020. And our daughter was like 6 months old when he told me that he was going to unalive me and her and himself. And I kid y'all not, for so long when it was just me, I was able to make excuses and take it. But once he threatened her life, all bets were off the table. I didn't have shit. I had just got done, paying my bills. All I had was $60, a 2-door Mustang, and my daughter. But it was my daughter that made me leave. If it's just me putting my life in jeopardy, okay, cool. I'm a big girl. I'm going to take it. But when my child came into the world, I knew I couldn't take it anymore. And I just feel like for Ekane won't leave Chris until she learns to love herself and to love her kids, until she learns that what she's allowing to happen around her kids is going to affect them. And I just really hope that she get it together really soon.
All right. I appreciate you, Lay. And let me just tell you something, sis. I just want you to know that for what it's worth, I know I'm just a random lady online, but I just want to tell you, like, I'm very proud of you, that your experience is like so awesome and amazing. You're such a strong young woman that you were able to do that, because a lot of women cannot. And I'm just so happy that you're here and you're flourishing now. I really respect that a lot. I really, really, truly respect that. And I respect you. And I also respect all of the other Black women that came up here and told their experiences and how they got away. And hopefully, you guys are just saying this, but hopefully what you're saying, your experiences, are a testimony to some woman, some young Black woman or Black girl that's listening, that can listen to the power that you have shown and feel like they can also show that power themselves. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all so much for expressing yourselves. And I just really appreciate it. The only thing I just hope is that this can help somebody, but let me just keep going. Let me stop bumping my gums. Let me go over here to Raya. Go ahead, Raya. If I'm saying your name wrong, let me know, sis.
You're saying it right. I totally feel for Ekane, and I do think she's 100% a victim. But at the same time, I just think that she needs to hold herself more accountable, because she's the one with the money, Like Lay had just said, she wasn't the one with the money, and she was still able to leave. Same with you. Like, she's the one making all the money. She has the power to leave. I just think she's very attached and very used to it, and just used to it. I just think she thinks it's normal, kind of. But the way that she recently explained the situation with Chris beating on her inside the room and the guy friends listening, I feel like that was one of the main times I seen her so vulnerable. So I do think she is kind of waking up, because she did look like she was about to cry when she was explaining that. Oh, so okay. I just hope that she's able to make it out, because I don't want to like change the topic, but it was a similar situations like that girl La La La. I don't know if you know her, but she was in a toxic. She was a trans black woman in an abusive relationship, and she got killed recently. And I don't really like seeing Kane on my timeline. It's just making me get really scared and just I don't like seeing that. It's been going on for so long. I remember a couple of times she tried to leave, and I thought she would finally leave, but I don't know what's going on. But that's really all I have to say.
All right. I got you. Raya. Okay, so I just wanted to say this again. I thought I said it, but maybe I didn't. I just wanted to say that you guys know that Kane is getting money, right? Y'all know that she got some bread. And the fact that she hasn't chosen to use that money to leave from out of state, because she could totally do that, or go somewhere else, that should let y'all know that how deep the prison of Chris and the abuse that she shares is deeply in her mind. She's a prisoner of her own making, or maybe of Chris making, but nonetheless, it should let you know how down bad she really is mentally, that she does have all of these resources. Because I do think a lot of women that are in abusive situations, if they had better resources, that they would be able to leave. So that should let you know how serious her problem is. Not to make excuses for her though. But okay, so the last person here accidentally, go ahead.
Hiya. I'm Gigi. My mom was murdered by her boyfriend when I was 9 years old, and I was in the house. And I want to say that if you plan on leaving, just leave, y'all. Don't let him know. Don't leave no signs, because my brother, my mom actually had my brother when she was 13. She had me when she was 38. So my brother, at the time, he bought her a mobile home. And he was like, Mom, I bought you a mobile home. You don't have to depend on that man no more. But it was literally the day after Thanksgiving. And we had all our boxes packed. And in her sleep, he murdered her in her sleep. He was a mortician.
Oh, you got to say unalive.
Oh, my bad. He unalived her in her sleep. And he was a mortician, so he knew how to cover it up to make it look like, nothing happened. If you snort embalming fluid, it will look like you had a heart attack. But anyways, long story short, if you guys are about to leave an abusive man, don't leave no signs that you're about to leave. You just have to leave, because they will, if they are crazy enough, they will take your life to prevent you from leaving. It happened to me.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Accidentally did. Was that all you had to say? You had some more to say, sis?
No, honestly, I just wanted to let y'all know that little tip. Like, if you is about to leave, just take you and your kids and leave. Don't pack no bags or no boxes or nothing that will give them a clue that you're leaving. And also, my mom tried to fight back. Actually, she was poisoning him, and he found out before. And so, yeah, he found out that she was trying to escape him. So before she took him out, he took her out. And it was just a messed up situation, because I was a kid, so I don't really understand everything that was going on. But I get the gist of it.
All right. I got you accidentally, and I appreciate you too, sis, for sharing. And I'm so sorry about your mother. And but I do appreciate you sharing, because I do think that your story can also help someone. And accidentally was definitely right. I do, and we talked about this a little earlier. But if you are in a state of where you are planning to leave and you have plans, don't tell him. Don't tell him anything. Move in silence. And also, we talked about sometimes you just have to just go ahead and up and go with the clothes that's on your back. You may not be able to pack a bag. You may not be able to get everything together. You may not be able to save up. Sometimes you may just have to go immediately ASAP, and that also could preserve your life. So, anywho, I just wanted to say, if you're a Black woman and you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you're strong. You're powerful, you're worthy, you are worth something, and you are not defined on whether you have a man or not. Because if that was the case, anybody can get a man. Anybody. Men are everywhere and are very plentiful, and men have no standards. So you could get anybody at any time, anywhere. So I have no idea why people hold the fact of having a man over someone's head when
Yes.
men are so easily
Oh my
to be
goodness.
secured.
I'm so glad you said that because growing up, also like my older cousins that like, you know, are baby mamas of several kids. And one of them, she said, "Oh, you're never gonna get a man with an attitude like that." And I was like, she was like, "You're never gonna be able to keep a man with an attitude like that." And even my brother, he was like, "You think a man will want you act the way you act?" And and I'm like, why do you guys make men the prize? Men are is the easiest thing to get. I don't understand why so many people equivalent having a man to, you know, making it in life or keeping a man as like a trophy or something. But yeah, that also is crazy. Oh, and I see y'all telling me to write a book. Anybody that wants to know the whole story time, let me know. I'll make a video on it. Make videos on my page every day. So yeah, y'all can follow me. I will follow y'all back. Thank you for listening to me, y'all.
All right. I got you accidentally. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, yeah, a man is not the end all be all. Okay. Men are plentiful. You could easily get a man, period. And especially the type of men that people want black women to have, which are the bottom of the barrel men. There's a bottom of the barrel man everywhere, easily accessible. And so just know that the only way a man is valuable to you is if he's treating you like a queen, he's adding to your life financially, emotionally, mentally, everything. Other than that, a man is a liability. So don't let anybody shame you into accepting poor treatment because you're afraid of what it's going to look like if you're by yourself. Okay. Be very critical of men. Look into their backgrounds. I've already said all the signs earlier. I can't do it anymore right now, but maybe we can have a live where we strictly talk about warning signs so that we can talk about, like I said earlier, avoiding these men from the start and not having to escape. We automatically know, hey, no, that's the man that you don't want to entertain, you know? But anyway, like I said, black women, if you listen to this, I love y'all from forever, and ever. I will always make lives and have discussions that center us, you know. And that's the reason why this live was so upsetting just today, because I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. It just seemed like there were some black women that just didn't have any empathy. And that was, I don't know. Never mind. Let me not get into it. Hopefully you have a great rest of y'all week, y'all. And once again, I'm sending you love, healing, positive vibes. If you're a black woman today, I just want you to look in the mirror today. Look at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are all of that and then some, and you are deserving of the best life possible. So whatever your dreams are, I just want you to know you can achieve it. All you have to do is put your mind to it, because we as black women, we're very powerful. All right. Love y'all. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.